The night has come, it's cold and losing my control. Your light is gone, and lonely darkness fill my soul. I wish that you could save me from my isolation. It's way too complicated. Let's start this conversation. Let's start this conversation. We got no relation.
Welcome to Don't Whistle at Night podcast, where Navajo legends echo in the shadows. Darren and Dawn will guide you through the sacred fire of Native storytelling, where the old stories breathe, the unknown walks among us, and voices, long hidden, rise to be heard. And remember, don't whistle at night.
Oh, come on. Okay, hold on, guys. You know I gotta play my... Hey, good evening, everybody, and welcome to Into the Night with me, your host, Sean Kelly. It's Tuesday night, so tonight's only a 1 hour show. I want to thank Uprn Talk Radio, 105.3 Mississippi, 107.7 New Orleans, for allowing you to give me 2 shows a week, Sunday nights and Tuesday nights. The Sunday night show is 8:10 to 10:10 p.m., which is a 2-hour show. And my Tuesday night show, like tonight is Tuesday, it's from 8:10 to 9:10 p.m. And I'm telling you what. Oh, hi, Heidi. Pause. Did you get some whip? You got pause, some good whipped cream. I'm glad to hear that, buddy. It's about time. And by the way, Heidi, how's that little finch? Tell us about the finch. I hope the finch is doing okay. But it's going to be in the 90s again all week here in Pennsylvania. It sucks. It really, really does. It's just too hot. I mean, one week it could be in the 40s and the next week it's in the 90s. So I don't know. Hello, Troy. Good to see you. Thank you for popping in. And I don't know how I'm going to deal with the heat. Oh, Heidi, look. Gotta show you. I got my fan. All right. Got my fan because of sweating. But I have a great show for you tonight. And the young lady who I asked, or, we were introduced by Michelle DeRoche, and I asked her if she could come. You love my fan. Thanks. Heidi says the wildlife rehabilitator called and wants to pick him up and haven't seen him today. Last night he was in the front yard. Okay, prayers out to the little yellow finch. But me and my guest tonight, we were introduced by Michelle DeRoche. And so when we were chatting, And when we first met, I asked her if she would like to come on my show Tuesday night, and she agreed. And I'm like, awesome. And everybody knows that I really love animals, okay? And I believe that every animal out there on earth has a they have a bond with human beings, okay? And, whenever you see crows or ravens flying, or you see little bunny rabbits, or sometimes they're a pain in the ass, because they're out frolicking in the yard and driving the dogs crazy and stuff like that. Thank you, Troy. And I found out from my guest, she's like a pet psychic. Cindy Mitch, what's up? Good to see you. So if you say something in the chat room tonight, okay, if I don't get to it, eventually I will, but if we don't, I will say something. I will make sure you all get in. But without further ado, I would like and I would love to introduce you to a new host here on Uprn Talk Radio. Her show is called, I just had it. I don't have, the Creature Code Podcast. And I do believe she's on Monday afternoons at 4 p.m. And without further ado, I would like you to meet my new friend, Miss Angel Morgan. I got to get you over there.
Hey.
Okay. Hi, Angel.
Hi. How are you?
Hi. I'm doing great. Heidi loves your show.
I know, and I love Heidi. She makes my show spectacular. She really does. So she always has.
Oh my God, she does, man.
Yeah, she really does.
I'll be honest with you. If it wasn't for Heidi, and I'm being honest, 2 days would be. Well, maybe you'll get 3 days, Heidi. That would be pretty cool. But no, what I'm saying is, without Heidi, man, she just does all the advertising for us. Love you too, Heidi. We love you too. But so I'm so glad that you're on.
Well, you got a twofer today because I brought with me my travel buddy. So everybody who's seen Creature Code Podcast has met my baby ball python, Benedict. This is my travel bunny, my travel buddy, Lula Bell. So Lula Bell is a corn snake, and she is actually a huge part of my animal communications work that I do. I am an animal communicator. I've been doing it for over 20 years, 25 years now. And she has taught me truly what animal communications is like on certain levels, because there are many levels that you can speak to animals on that go further than the physical. And I very rarely can hear them speak. I usually feel them, or I get images or what have you, but she has a voice, an actual voice. And when she came to me, I was actually going to give her back because I'm like, I'm not connecting to this. Like, I just don't have a connection. And one day I was walking, and all of a sudden I literally physically heard that. And I'm like, wait, what just happened? And I know when it's not me, because after, 25 years of doing this, it's a feeling that you get. And it almost shakes me to the core. And so I heard that, and she was pulling towards this tree, and I went, that's called a tree. And I heard tree, and I'm like, wait, what? And we kept walking, and all of a sudden I heard that, and she was pulling herself towards a gate. And I said, that's a gate. And so we continued our walk, and then we ended up in a mall, because I truly believe that people can walk their dogs. Why can't I walk my snake? So we ended up in the mall, And she started to pull towards a mirror. And earlier we had seen this woman on the street, and she goes, "Oh, we don't have snakes in Norway, not in Norway, in New Zealand." New Zealand? Oh, I can't remember where it was now. And she wanted to take a picture with her. She goes, "Oh, pretty. She's so pretty. Pretty Lula. Lula, you're so pretty." So all of a sudden later on, she sees herself in the mirror, and I'd forgotten about this woman. And all I heard was, "Pretty Lula. Lula, pretty." And I'm like,
Oh, wow.
what? So now every time I take her out, her reward for being a good girl is that I will put her in front of a mirror because she loves mirrors. Yeah.
That's
yeah.
cute as hell. But will she get any bigger?
Yeah, she's about 5 feet right now. So she should get about another foot. She's only three years at this point. So she's still young. So she has a little bit more to grow. Unlike her brother will probably be about 5 feet, but he'll be like big around.
Right.
So he'll be bigger. Right now, he's just a wee thing. He doesn't look like a worm anymore, but he's a wee thing.
So. Wee thing. Okay, so I find it interesting because whenever I'm at, like in a park or even in my backyard, pulling in from work, the crows come around, okay, and the ravens come around,
yeah,
and them little damn chickadee birds come around. It's just like I feel like sometimes that I'm Dr. Doolittle, okay. And
I can see that with you too. I can totally see that. You have such a good heart, and animals know people with good hearts. I mean, you and I have just met, but it's clear, and I'm sure your viewers can attest to that.
Thank you so much.
Oh, you're so welcome. And I find that every animal communicator or someone who's sensitive to animals will have a specialty. So I knew she would agree. So some people are really good with horses. Others, their forte will be dogs or cats. Mine are exotic animals. Yours clearly would be birds. But what's really interesting is that if you were on my path, and this is kind of what I'm already being shown, is you are, it would be birds of prey. So it would be hawks and owls and eagles. And they would communicate with you quite clearly. That's where your clearest communication would be. Do you have a dog? Do you have a dog that's passed, like a blonde dog that passed? Blonde, reddish blonde?
No dog. The only dog that I have was way back in 1976.
Okay.
He was a bulldog, black and white bulldog.
Oh, he's black and white. Okay. Because I keep seeing this dog and he's sitting behind you and he's brown. He's kind of like a reddish brown and he's so happy and he's so joyful and he's very much like you. Got it. So this dog is here to tell us that that's your spirit animal. So if you were to turn into an animal, you're actually dog. And the dog is all about loyalty, integrity, family. And these are the things that define who you are. Okay, so he's walking right now. So I'm like, okay, good, excellent. But they're saying there is a dog coming to you, one that you're going to know. And it'll come to you as a puppy, but it's not your dog. Someone's going to get a dog and it's going to be a puppy.
I hope it's a pug. I love pugs. They're so cute. Pugs are cute.
They're adorable. They really are adorable.
Well, that red dog, that dog that you were describing, that's my next door neighbor's. And her name is Maisie. And
she's a blonde dog? That's the blonde dog?
Yeah. And blonde, white, brown. Okay. And I'll tell you what, it's crazy. She acts like I'm hers. Okay. And what I mean by that is I can go out to my truck at 5 a.m. and she's out there, looking at me. And I always wave to her. And if somebody walks behind me or anybody else is anywhere around me, she goes off. Oh my God.
She's protecting you.
Oh my God. And then one time, our other neighbor over here, her name is Sheena, and she's a little crazy dog, but I love her to death. And one time their owners took Sheena out for a walk, and Sheena just pulled the dude. She just pulled him over. And Maisie, oh my God, if Maisie was loose, she would just like attack Sheena. Seriously. I was like, dang.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Maisie is basically here to let us know that you are pack, right? And that is your spirit animal. And I noticed too that as you were talking, she became really interested in you.
Yes,
so,
she did.
And I rarely see her sit still.
No,
so it's a very interesting thing because animals will always act differently with people who have animal communications in them, who are pet subjects. If you were on my path, it is the path I would encourage for you.
Okay.
And I know you and I both do paranormal investigations and things like that. The next time you're on a paranormal investigation, see if you can connect to the animals who have passed, because I think you would be able to do it.
Oh, I do. I really do, Angel. Whenever we go, I can sense the animal spirits, like the cats or the dogs, even birds that have passed.
Yeah.
Heidi says you. Yeah. And what was crazy was no matter where I go, all the animals just come up to me.
Yep.
They just come up, and I'm like, okay. I mean, I've been in situations where there would be massive German shepherds that would just rip your throat out, right? Big old pit bulls and stuff like that. Not me. You know what I mean? It's just like.
Yeah, so true. I had this cat once. They called me in because they were having major behavioral issues with this cat. It was so aggressive. It didn't like people. I walked in and I connect to the animals before I even get there. And this cat jumped up on my lap and everyone's like, don't touch him, don't touch him. I'm like, are you serious? And he started to like literally need me, right? And they're like, wait, what is going on, right? They were so freaked out at the fact that this cat was completely different around me. And so the cat and I had this wonderful chat, and it talked to me about how scared they were of it. So it was scaring him, right? He was scared he wasn't going to have a home anymore. He was scared. So it was like building and building and building. And that was a great animal communication, because by the end of the session and by the end of the day, that cat was a completely different cat, and it was a completely different family and a completely different dynamic. And I think that's the thing that I love about animal communications. It's so healing. Like it's so healing.
My spirit and my two totem animals, my feminine side is the red-tailed hawk, okay, but my alpha is Lakota, and he's a wolf, and I've had him, oh my gosh, a very, very long time. And it's a decent story that maybe I can share with you on your podcast.
Oh, I would love that.
Yeah, and he's big, he's bad, he gets angry, and he protects me. Whenever I'm at meditation, he's always by me. One day his spirit decided to go into my space, and he just ripped the dude apart, you know what I mean? And whenever I go on a paranormal investigation and I know there's not going to be some happy spirits there, he will come along with me, you know.
Nice.
And he protects not just me, but the people who are with me investigating the house. And I just feel totally safe, you know what I mean? And I love animals, honest to God. The best one I had was I was at South Park, and I decided, do a meditation. Why not, right? And I did. And spirit is my witness. This is a true story. I woke up, and there was a mama raccoon with 3 baby raccoons looking at me. Like, okay, all right, what do you guys want? And then I came out of another meditation one time, and I swear to gosh, now Pennsylvania, as you know, have a lot of deer. You know what I mean? There's a ton of deer up here. And I'd never seen this buck as big, honest to Pete. It was so huge, it just walked by me. But that, and it just seems like I was just, I guess, like you said, built for the animals. And I always talk, you can ask anybody that follow my show. I talk about animals all the time. And, but what's been really crazy, and maybe you can answer this for me, okay? I always have the same 3 ravens follow me everywhere I go. Can you explain that, please?
Yeah. So ravens will always stay in a pack in a murder, right? And
Right.
interesting for you is that one of the things, as soon as you said that, what they showed me was that you are a son of Odin. And so in the old ways and in the old days, every tribe of Viking had a god they worshipped. So whether it was Thor was one tribe, whether it was Odin, and you are what's known as a son of Odin. You came from a tribe that. So Odin walked with 2 ravens, and that was Munin and Hunin, thought and memory. And so in every lifetime, we're given clues as to who you were. And that is, wait, do not go into the dresser, please. My office door was open. And you were part of this tribe. And so you have a connection to the ravens. So whenever the ravens come around you, know that Odin is there. He's protecting.
Oh, wow.
Watching out for you. You can connect to him in journeys. My suggestion to you was go into Journey and do a journey and call in Odin, call in Allfather, call in One Eye, right? I think he would absolutely love you, and I think you two would have some spectacular stories, war stories to tell each other.
Oh, you just don't know how many war stories I could tell you.
Right.
But we are at the bottom of the hour, and so we're going to take a little 2-minute break. When we come back, I would like to get more about you into your podcast. And before we go, I want to welcome you to the UPRN Talk Radio family. Thank you. We're all happy to have you on.
Oh, I'm so happy to be here. I can't even tell you. It's the highlight of my week.
Oh, thanks. All right, everybody, you know the deal. Go have a cigarette, go to the bathroom, do what you got to do, get a Coke and a smile. And we'll see you in a couple minutes.
Hi, and welcome everyone to Ethereal Encounters Unveiled. Today we are broadcasting live on the United Public Radio Network and the UFO Paranormal Radio Network, 105.3 on the Gulf Coast and 107.7 FM in beautiful New Orleans.
Why is it always mine? Hey, welcome back, everybody, to the second part of Into the Night with me, your host, Sean Kelly. Again, I want to thank you, Uprn Talk Radio, 105.3 Mississippi, 107.7 New Orleans. Thank you, Heidi. I appreciate that. I forgot to tell at the beginning, though, my dear friend, Miss C.L. Thomas, she has the Gateway podcast. She's not going to be around tonight, so she's putting on a replay. But, go over to her replay, and send her some love. Tell her I said hello. And don't forget.
You're so supportive. You're amazing. Like, you really are.
Thank you. And Miss Angel Morgan here, her show's on Monday afternoons at 4 p.m. Yeah. If you ain't doing nothing on a Monday afternoon around 4, go on UPRN and go check her show out.
It's a fun show. We have a good show.
I bet it is. I mean, excuse me, I'm sweating like a pig.
We do everything from animals to humans to everything in between. And we've even had like a cryptozoologist on our show. Like our theme and our thrust is obviously animals, but there's in every aspect of the paranormal world and in the ghost world, you can touch on that, right? No matter who you're speaking with, you can touch on that. And so we've had some really, I've been really lucky. We've had some really cool guests, and now we're coming up to the New Orleans Paracon in August, July 31st to August 2nd. So this month is Paracon month. And so we have a few guests who will be on, like Father Bob, who is an exorcist. And we had Jen Talley, who is a medium. We have a lot of really cool stuff happening this week. And then next month in August, we have, we're doing Conjure Camp. And Conjure Camp is a voodoo hoodoo camp that's
sweet.
So we have, Witch Dr. Utu, who has worked with Priestess Miriam in New Orleans, and the Water Witch Cat Tagard. So we have a lot of really, really amazing. And then we have you on in September, September 7th. You're going to be on our show. So I'm having a great time with UPR, and this is a fabulous, fabulous family to be a part of. Fabulous.
I totally agree with you. And even though I don't get to talk to them as much, who was really, really supportive was Laura Lee at the beginning when I first started. And then, Michelle, same way, until she became boss. And we became friends. And then Joe Montaldo, who lives in Mississippi. And they just took me under their wing. And I'm just so grateful for the people like Cindy. Oh, by the way, excuse me. Cindy, how you doing? I don't know if I got anybody to come in. I know Vet Girl. Hi, Vet Girl. Good to see you. Who else came in? Joni, good to see you, hon. Please, Joni's cool as hell. I love them all. I called my people in here who follow my show, my angels. Okay, they're like my guardian angels. And the reason why I call them that is I could be having a really, really bad week. Okay. And I know when my Sunday show comes on, just being in the same room with my people in here just takes all the nastiness away.
Right. Yes. I could be having the worst, crazy, insane day. And as soon as I hit the podcast with you guys, my whole day changes. It's like flipping a switch.
Yep. I not once had a bad show. I think I have one since I've been here, but I'm okay with it. But I just the energy that comes off whenever Michelle just gives you a little text message, say, hey, listen, how you doing? Blah, blah, blah. Here's your numbers, blah, blah, blah. Yep. And those little smiles, the little hearts. And when Joe, says something, and when Jay and all kinds of the other ones, it's just, they make you feel at home. That's how I feel about, UPRN. And you said that I am very supportive. I am, because when I first started, people supported me.
Yeah. So
I always look at whatever you get, you have to give it back tenfold. Well, and that's what I do. And I don't want to be egotistical about it. I'd like, look at me, no, it's just who I am.
Well, for me, Carol Ann from Ethereal Encounters, she had me on her show, and she goes, you have to get to know Michelle. You have to get to know Michelle. Yeah. And I'm like, okay, I'll get to know Michelle. And the next thing I knew, I have this podcast on UPRN. And I'm thinking, wow, this is fabulous, because that is my give back, right? Like animal communication, psychic work, paranormal, like this is my 24, like literally my 24/7. You know, if I'm not working, I'm dreaming. And so like I eat this, I sleep this is my world. And to
Right.
have beautiful addition is just incredible, right? Like
Right.
it's just such an amazing part of my week. And being a Gemini, it's very hard to kind of get routines going. We're very bad at routine.
Yes,
So to have something to anchor to every Monday, you know, you have to be there, you have to be organized, you have to do, it's really good. It's good for my brain. It's good for my ADHD.
Well, you're my twin. You're my twin sister here. What day's your birthday?
June 9th.
June 4th.
Oh, nice. Right on.
Yes.
So we're in the same area of astrology too. So
Yeah, we're there. And if I have any astrology questions, I go to Heidi. She knows all that stuff and synchronicities. And all that
I didn't know that. Okay, Heidi, you and I actually do have to hook up because I always like to get the astrology and stuff like, because that's my weak point, astrology and palmistry. So I like to get the information. So when I'm talking on my podcasts and I'm talking, I actually sound like I know what I'm talking about when I actually don't. So I need people like Heidi to help me out.
Oh man, she will, man. She's the best. She's the best. And but back to you, okay? What you said that it came to you with a surprise. I know you talked about your little pet snake here, but what really got you into it? I mean, literally, put both feet into the situation.
I was a non-believer. I didn't believe in any of this stuff. As far as I was concerned, this was made for the movies. I'd had psychic experiences, but I was very discouraged from it. First time I ever saw a spirit, I was probably about 5-6 years old. And I woke up and I saw my great auntie she was in the in-between place. She was standing beside this tree, which I now know to be the tree of life. And she was wearing this beautiful Victorian black, you know, in Malta, this is what we still do. And my mother came up the stairs. This was, you know, I was just waking up and she goes, your Auntie Mary died. And I said, yeah, I know. And she goes, well, how do you know? And I said, well, because I just saw her. And she goes, you didn't see anything. You didn't hear anything. You don't know anything. Yep. All right. So it wasn't until years later that I met my son's dad that I started becoming more of an outdoors person. And once I hit nature, that blew everything open. And it was undeniable. And then I found myself at this little store in Newmarket, Ontario, and they're the ones who turned around and they said, yeah, this is who you are. This is your path. And I'm like, what? And so I asked the psychic there, I said, what am I going to do with the rest of my life? And at that point, I was in the last cuts of Shaw and Stratford festivals, which are our big theaters here. These are our national theaters. I was an actor, trained in Shakespeare and his contemporaries. And she said, well, you're going to do this with the rest of your life. And I'm like, okay, well, you're on crack, right? And
yes.
Yes. 6 weeks later, I found myself in Guatemala. And in Guatemala, they told me that I was going to talk to animals and make a difference in the world. And I'm like, well, you're on crack too. Awesome. And so when I came back, I ended up working at that little store. And I ended up being their animal communicator because between the time I came back from Guatemala and then I was invited to this healing space. And it was just opening. And they had all these like little books and things that people were signing. So I thought, okay, I'll be polite. I'll just sign something. 2 weeks later, I get this email and it said, don't forget you have an animal communications class. I'm like, what the hell? So I told my friend and she goes, well, you're going to go, right? And I'm like, no. And she goes, oh, yes, you are. And she dragged me to this thing. So I went to prove it. I went to give her a hard time, my teacher. Well, she knew how to deal with people like me. And by the time the weekend had ended, not only was I a believer, not only did I understand more about who I was, but I was taking the more in-depth courses. And within weeks of that, I was working at that original little store as their animal communicator.
God bless you.
It was amazing. It's been a remarkable journey. I am one of the most blessed people you will ever meet. And I am one of the greatest people you will ever meet because the more I have, the more experiences I have, the more everything I have, the more I can share.
Right. Exactly. Now, let me ask you this. And I've been meaning, because I tried to come up with some questions to ask you, and this one popped into mind. By working with all the animals, what is their number one gripe about human beings?
What is my number one what?
No, not you, the animals that you talk to, of all the animals that you have listened to. Okay. Mm-hmm. I'm sure they all have one gripe.
What's their gripe about humans? They don't listen.
Yeah.
They don't listen. I'm trying to communicate with you and you're not getting it. We're all animal communicators. We all have these abilities. And I find that we're so busy and we're so fast that a lot of times we don't take the time just to stop and look into the eyes of our animals. We don't stop and just take that breath and go, okay, what is it that you're trying to tell me? And just be quiet to pick up the images, the thoughts, the feelings. And we can do that. And granted, a lot of us don't even know that we can do that. But we do have the understanding through movies like Dr. Dolittle that the potential is there. It's out there. The what if. And I find that a lot of people are connecting to their animals. They just don't know. So what I teach is listen, dismiss nothing. What does that say? That's what I was going to say. Yeah, they don't. Listen, dismiss nothing. And as long as you're not hurting yourself or anybody else, just act on it. That's the part we have a problem with. We don't dismiss it. We know something's happening. Okay. We do try to listen, but then we dismiss it and then we don't act on it. So we're not listening well enough to say, okay, we're going to do this. Right. I love crack. That's right. Funny. Yeah. Popcorn is my crack. Thank you very much. And tequila, yes. Tequila and popcorn. But yeah, that's, I think that's the number one thing I hear from animals, is that, I just want them, especially animals who are frustrated. There are animals who sometimes get really depressed. They're aggressive. And the reason they're becoming aggressive, it's like, I'm trying to talk to you. Do you not get it? Do you not get it? And sometimes people will say things to me and the dog or the cat or the fish will just look at, like, they'll literally stop, we'll make eye contact. And all I can hear and feel is, really, is this not what I've been telling them for years? Like, really, that thing, right? I ask pause to show me and feel I'm too impatient. Yeah, you know what? I'm the same way. Okay, Heidi. So sometimes I will sit with, with my animals and I'll be like, okay, what do you want? And then they'll look at me and I'm like, okay, come on, what am I missing here? And so I get very impatient too. And I've had to learn how to slow down. So that's actually a really good point. I think humans need to slow down. We really do. And the question you're asking, which is show me, is excellent. But with show me, all you're asking for really is visuals. So I would enhance that. What I would do is, what am I missing? Don't talk to the animal. Talk to their guides and guardians. What am I missing right now? What do I need to hear? What do I need to see? What do I need to feel? And all of a sudden, that's going to open you up to a bigger picture. Some animal communicators don't talk directly to their animals. They talk to their guides and guardians. I do both. So if I'm missing something, I'll be like, okay, guys, what am I missing here? What is it? Right? And then maybe I'll get slow down. Maybe I'll get shut up. Right? Maybe I'll get, his paw hurts. Right? So yeah, we are impatient. Right. That's a really good point. Really, really good point.
Oh, yes. But for me, I can sit on my porch. Okay, hold on. I got a couple things here. Joe Fox, don't be sorry, brother. Hello.
Cindy's comment is really good. I talk to animals just like I do humans. And yes, some animals are really good at that. Yeah. We have 4 levels of communication: mental, physical, emotional, and spiritual. Those animals, like humans, those animals who are physical, they are going to understand every single word you say, and you can talk to them like a human. Those animals who are more on the mental level, those are the ones who are more visual. Those are the ones you can have imaginary conversations with, knowing they're not imaginary, and keep your statements very short, really looking at the action verb. So let's eat, or let's go for a run, because not only do they see it, but they can feel it. right? And then you have the feelers, the emotional ones. Those are the ones who know when you're hurt, when you're crying, when you're happy. They're the healer animals, therapy dogs, therapy cats, therapy bunnies, therapy snakes. These are the feelers and the emotional ones. And then the ones who are spiritual are the ones who can connect on all different levels. Okay. Yes. And those are the ones who usually come to people who are energetics. So witches, psychics, dreamwalkers, sensitives. They hold space and protect them while they're doing their work. Healers.
Well, I like what you had to say there, because I know that I am really well protected whenever the, oh, hold on. Yeah. Heidi says, I talk to all critters, and she does. Outside, they're like human. I asked the squirrels where the baby finch was, and they still don't know. But to me, animals are part of my life. Okay, they are part of my life. And unfortunately, I live in Pittsburgh. Okay, I live in the borough of Pittsburgh, which there's always houses. So mainly hanging around with the dogs and the bunny rabbits. You know what I mean? That's basically it. But I know now I am from Pittsburgh, and I also have another hobby where I prospect gold. Okay.
Are you serious?
I go to a cruise. Yeah. Yes, I do. And I tell you what, I don't go too far into the woods. Like, I have a lot of people who are Bigfoot researchers, and I'm saying, they say, "Come on with us, Sean." I'm like, "No, you're going to have to protect me."
You would love where I live. You would love where I live. I live on the Canadian Shield, and this is where we have old miners' stories, farmers, pioneers, settlers. There are still mines here that you can go and visit. So yeah, you would love it here.
Wow.
Yeah, you would love it here.
Oh, I bet I would.
I asked the crows where my cat was. Can you find him? And perfect, right? That's animal communications right there.
Now, me and Sherry, we have an ongoing thing. Now, she lives up in Newfoundland, okay? And she sees mooses. And I love mooses. Okay? I love the mooses.
We have them here.
I'm telling you. And she tells me all about the mooses that she sees, and if she grabs a picture, okay, then Squatch Man, what's up, brother? You know, so Sherry and I are great friends, and she's a good girl. She's a good friend. Like I said, they're all my angels. But I have a favor to ask you, okay?
Please.
Who you got there? Oh, I thought you had another snake with you. I'm sorry.
Not today.
Not today. Okay.
I can get my other snake.
But I usually draw a card at the end of the show. And I was wondering if you would be okay to give all my listeners out there and the people in the chat room a reading before we close up. Would you be okay with that?
I would love
sweet.
I would love
I'd appreciate it.
If anyone has animal questions, you're more than welcome to ask, and I will tap in for you. This is one of my favorite things to do. I absolutely love doing animal communication. So if anybody does have a question, why don't you pull a card? That way people can think about their questions. And then if they have a question, yeah, we can do both. We have a little bit of time.
So if you guys have any questions for Angel, please feel free, say it now because at the end of the show, I'm not pulling a card. She's going to give everybody a reading for everybody.
Yeah, for sure. Why does pause like tap, slap when I cry? Okay, do your card reading, and then we've got questions. Do your card reading first.
I got the fox. That's the fox I drew. And
foxy
with the
baby. Fox. You're a foxy baby. Fox is magic. Magic is afoot.
Yes. But what I see in the fox, right? The fox, to me, when I look at the fox, is that you're sly, okay? You're sneaky. You just again, going back to the old ways of trying to find the information that you need to move ahead without working on it. And so you thought you could fool me by when I pulled the coyote, when I pulled the badger the other day. And now you want to throw the fox in, it's just not going to work. You really need to start getting down, and you have to start doing the work yourself. None of these animals are going to help you get.
That's perfect.
Yeah, okay.
We have some really great ones. Coyote here. Coyotes to remember. That's to remind me.
We got a couple here.
Way or the hard way, the tricky way. Okay, so let's see.
I'll bring it up.
Oh yeah, perfect. You do.
There.
Angel, tell me if Vanellope is. Oh, I love that name, Vanellope. I love that. Vanellope is happy, but I find that this particular animal is a very I like to do things my way. I want to do things my way. So what I would do is really focus this one on the body language, because this one feels very physical, mental. Have imaginary conversations with this animal, knowing they're not imaginary. You two actually speak very, very well together. I really, really love your relationship. And yeah, she is really happy. She really is. All right, who's next? Oh, I don't need my glasses. Is there a way for you to know if the kitten I'm wanting to get is the right one for me? Yeah, so I have a lot of clients who come to me with questions like this. Here is the animal I'm considering. Is this a match for me? In fact, my partner did that. And I went, yes, it was before we were seeing each other. And it was just like, yeah, you have to have this animal. This is completely who you are, not knowing that it was going to become my animal too. So yeah, there are, because you tap into the energy of the animal as well as the person. And you don't have to have the animal in front of you. I can tap into a kitten. I can tap into you, and that's easy. If you are talking about a kitten and getting a kitten, I do feel like you do need one. I keep getting something about stripes, and I don't know why I keep seeing stripes. But I feel like there is a kitten that you need to get. Okay, there is something, and you need that cat medicine because you have a lot of cat around you, a lot of instinct, intuition, all that kind of stuff, and that represents part of it. Okay. Do dogs hate cold water for drinking? Depends on the dog. It really does depend on the dog. I know some dogs who've actually asked for ice to be put in their water, and then other ones going, are you crazy? Like, what are you doing? And then other ones who would rather have it warm. My golden doodle would prefer temperate to warm, to be perfectly honest with you. When you have multiple animals, they like different things. That's when you run into very interesting communications.
Did you answer Heidi's question?
No, I did not. No, I did not. Why does Posnimel bite my calf and slap me when I cry? It's interesting. The slapping when you cry is because she actually gets nibbles, or this cat actually gets very emotional for you and almost can't handle the emotional overload. It's like, okay, listen, just relax, just be okay, it's okay. Look at me, just look at me, kind of deal. Nibbles and bites to get your attention. She's just playing. That's just playing. She loves doing it because she knows she gets a reaction. I think it is a she gets a reaction from you. Loves to tease you, loves the mischievous relationship aspect of who you are. Also, I get something about you being witch and witchcraft. So that is in you. This cat has been defined for you. In other words, brought to you partly to hold space for that part of you that is, whether it's, in acknowledgement, in other words, you practice or you don't practice, this animal is here to hold space for you in a magical sense. Okay. Yeah.
Thank you. We're getting close to the end. Real quick. Cindy wants to know, is my puppy Charlotte happy?
Yes, that puppy makes me want to laugh. What a little goofy guy. I love this animal. Something about taking a look at the food, though. There's something going on or will be going on with the tummy. So just make sure you're taking a look at the food right now and maybe reconsidering something a little more in balance for him. Just keep an eye on it. Okay. That's basically it. Resonates deeply, Angel. Thank you. Pause as a chunky orange guy.
Yeah, he is.
I love my gingers. That's gingers.
Oh, Pause is an animal. I love Pause. Pause is great. But okay, we are getting to the end, right? And can you tell us, you have to come on this Sunday night, hon. You have to. because this went by too quick. We
I
could
would
have
love.
gone to our Sunday night. We can get you on here again if you can. I'd
I would love.
appreciate it.
You
But
pick a Sunday.
everybody, I sure will. But everybody, Angel, who I'm truly grateful that came on the show tonight, she is going to be giving us a reading for everybody. I'm not going to pull a card. I just pulled that one card out. And so Miss Angel here is going to give everybody a reading. So how can people find you before you do the reading?
Okay, so you can find me at raisingenergy.com if you want an animal reading. I also teach animal communications. I do free Zoom classes and workshops as well. I put everything on my Instagram. Everything for me is raising energy, except my podcast, which is Creature Code Podcast, and you can catch that on Mondays at 4 p.m. Now, reading. I am going to go with snake medicine and frog medicine. So those of you, there's something about magic happening. Frog and toad. There is magic in the air. Thank you. There's a lot of magic happening in the air right now. And tonight is a full moon, by the way. This is a super new moon today. So toad medicine is all over. So go out under that new moon and help yourself release, which is the snake that I saw. There's a lot of release happening with a lot of people right now, especially with this group here. And I'll be honest with you, this is a retrograde as well. So if things are happening with you, if you feel like you're feeling stuck or you're feeling emotional, sit in the shit. That's what I always say. Sit in the shit. Let it happen, because up until the 29th, this retrograde is going to be there, and let the snake medicine happen and let the frog magic happen in your lives.
Well, I thank you for that. Okay, it is that time to go. Again, Angel, thank you so much for
Thank you.
coming on.
Fast.
I had the best hour. It did go fast, but it was the best hour of my life. And people, if you can, please, children, if you can, go to your parents, give them a hug, and tell them that you love them. And parents, please go to your children and please give your children a hug. And if you have no parents and if you have no children, find somebody, give them a hug, and tell them that you love them. Because those three words, and your pets, and say, hug your pets too, especially your pet snakes. But on those three words, I love you, go a long way. Again, I want to thank Angel, and I will see everybody back here on Sunday night. Enjoy the week. Stay cool. Until then, stay safe. And always, please, protect the children.